Alright, this video for 3VT about exercise 67. This is something new because now we have a three-dimensional shape and now we also see a new notation there. We see three letters written down at the angle. So you're probably watching this because you saw this in the book and then you didn't know how to do this, so let me explain. First I want to explain this new notation. Here we see three letters. In a three-dimensional shape there are a lot of angles that you can make that have the same letter. For example, if you take a look at angle B here, if I go from A to B to F, then I have an angle B there. But if I go from A to B to C, I have another angle B. And if I go from A to B to E, I have another angle B. So there are a lot of angle B's that I can make. And normally with a two-dimensional shape, we would call it B1 and B2 and B3. But in this case, if you would do that, if I write down 1, 2, 3, it will be a huge mess because it's all three-dimensional, so all the letters will be like through each other and then you don't know which one is which. So that's why we have a new solution for that, and that is a notation with three letters. What this actually means, angle CBH, it means you go from C to B to H. So you go from C to B to H, and then the middle letter, the B, that's the angle. You go from C to B to H, so this angle is the one that we want to calculate. The lines BC and BH together, they make that angle, and that's the one we need to calculate then. So this is what you do. If you want to calculate angle CBH, then the first step is locating where the angle is. Well, we've done that, it's over there. The second step would be to locate the triangle that it's a part of, and the triangle should have a 90-degree angle, otherwise we can't use anything. So if you take a look at BCH, then you should notice that angle C is 90 degrees, because if I make a line from H to C like that, this line is at the back of the cuboid, and this line is at the side of the cuboid, so that means that this angle here is 90 degrees. Even though in the picture it doesn't look 90 degrees, but in reality, in this cuboid, it will be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a sketch here of a right angle triangle. So there's a 90-degree angle here, that needs to be C. And then this is H, and then this is B. So this triangle, if you can place it in there, see that? But I just took it out and placed it over here. Now we know that BC is 2. And that's the only thing we know. We don't know BH and we don't know CH. But we want to calculate this angle. So we need to calculate either that side or that side. We can calculate this side using the Pythagorean theorem. Because here we have this length, over here from C to D is 6, and from D to H is 3. You can also see it in the front here, 6 and 3. So if you want to calculate CH, so I'm going to do that over here, then I have to take the square root of 6 squared plus 3 squared. Now the important thing here is that you try to keep an exact answer, because we need to do a calculation with that later, and we want our calculation to be as good as it gets, right? So we want to do the square root of 6 squared and then plus 3 squared, and then the nice thing about this calculator, of course, is that it gives you already an exact answer. The exact answer is 3 times the square root of 5. So I'm going to write that down over here. If you don't have this calculator, right, if you have a different one that gives you a decimal number, you try to use as many decimal places then, but you can also calculate what 6 squared plus 3 squared is in the square root and then just keep that here, because this is 36 and this is 9, so there you can write down the square root of 45 and then use that in your next calculation instead of simplifying it. Okay, so we know that this is 3 times the square root of 5 or the square root of 45 if you prefer to use that. And then, so we know this one, and then we're going to calculate the angle CBH. This is the opposite side, this is the adjacent side, so we have to use the tangent. So we're going to use the tangent, and then we're going to do 3 times the square root of 5 divided by 2, or you can also use that if you find that easier to type in. Right? Now if you calculate this, you get 73.4 degrees, and then you have angle B. So this is how to calculate an angle in a three-dimensional shape. Let's do another one, because here it says triangle HBF. So here we have H, B, and F. So first we need to, we've already found the triangle. The angle is still angle B, but now it's this angle, like the one from this line and that line. And angle F is 90 degrees. So this triangle, I'm also going to sketch it over here. Right, there's another triangle with an angle that's 90 degrees, but in this case this is F. And this is H, and this is B. So it's very similar actually, because this one was BCH, and this is BFH, right? You can also see that if you have the triangle, if you have this one like that, and you move it a bit like that, you get that one. But the lengths are of course all different. We know that BF is 3, so we know that. And we don't know HF or BH, so we have to calculate one of those two lengths. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to calculate HF. That's this one here. We know that this length is 2, and we know that the other length is 6. So we have to take the square root of 2 squared plus 6 squared. Now you can type that in your calculator and then you get an exact answer. So also here I should have just used straight lines because it's exactly that. But you can also calculate what this is. That's 4 and this is 36. So together that's the square root of 40. So this is the square root of 40. And then if you want to calculate this angle, you have to use the tangent again. So we're going to say that the angle HBF is tan minus 1 and then the square root of 40 divided by 3. Now you can type that into your calculator and then you will get 64.6 degrees. And that's how this exercise works. Now you can try see yourself. I'm going to send you the answers later and then you can see if you did it correct. But this is how it works. Thank you for watching.